Good morning. It is July 25th, Thursday, and I'm headed to my first call, which is an install. And hopefully today I'll also be showing how I use House Call Pro throughout my day for service calls and for installs. So here is my iPad with House Call Pro loaded up. This is what my schedule looks like for today, just the install. And it gives you the customer's information there and the job details, but I've covered up the customer's information just so you don't see that. I'm going to click on the job, and once the job is clicked on, it pulls up all of this here. I do have to cover up some more of the customer's information, but it shows you the customer's home, tells you the price of their house. You can hit these icons here and it'll take you to either call them, text them, or text them in the House Call Pro app. So I'm gonna see. And I just scrolled down a little bit more past the customer information, and you can see here's the estimate that was originally approved. There's an amount there that I'm not showing, but I show up there, my brother shows up there, because we're both headed to the job today. And since I'm on the way to the job, I'm going to click the little map icon, open map, and set status to on my way. And it lets the customer know we're on the way, and immediately pulls up directions on the iPad so that I can head over to the job. Okay, so here are our units. This is, I believe, the second floor unit, and this is the first floor unit. So now that I am at the job, on the iPad, I can go ahead and click start my time at the top and press start. I could put a note in there if I want to. I have poor service right now, so it might take a second to load, but it'll let the customer know that I started the job, and the app will also keep track of my time in the background. But yeah, first floor. Pull disconnect here and start to pump down. So you could see now that it took that prompt, it says pause my time, my travel time, and up in the top right there, it is keeping track of my time. So that's super nice. Now I'm gonna disconnect electric to this unit, pump down the refrigerant, and then we can move on into the attic inside and cut the lines and get the air handler out of there. The line set will be maintaining. It'll just be the, well, obviously replace filter dryer, but it'll just be the equipment itself. And this is 3.5 ton ream unit, but it's pretty humid in the house and it cools down really quickly, so we're putting in a 3 ton, which is properly sized now for the first floor, and we'll probably do that in the future for the second floor unit. But the reason we're replacing this equipment that was from 2012 is because it's been losing crazy amount of refrigerant. I think this season they've already put in 20 pounds because they wanted to just gas and go. And for this unit, a couple years ago, I replaced the indoor evaporator coil, and we've been good on that one since. But now they want to start replacing the equipment. So we're going to be putting in the 20.5 SEER Bosch IDS 2.0 system. Okay, so I'm actually surprised I was able to pump it down negative. So it came up to 0. I might come up to a couple PSI, but it took it all. I guess probably because it's low on refrigerant again. But now I can head inside and get to work there. I do have to take the return grill out in order to get access to bring an air handler into the attic. So I'll be popping the return and probably disconnect some ducts on the second floor unit so we could get some airflow going up in the attic before it gets hot, and we'll need light up there too. Okay, I'm inside. I pulled off the front cover, shut off power, pulled power. I disconnected thermostat wiring here, and what I like to do when I can is cut the air handler wiring so that it's still attached to the thermostat wiring, just because it makes it pretty much instant to hook up all the wiring back to what it needs to be. Don't need to guess or trace it back to the thermostat, but disconnected that duct there to blow some cool air over here. And here's our return that I pulled out, which came out nice and easy. But I'm gonna pull the blower, pull the evaporator, cut the lines, disconnect supply and return, and we can get all this out of here. And you can see on the camera this UV light. Look at all that dye, all on the bottom of the pan right there. You got dye up here. Let's see. Yeah. So this coil had major leakage. To get dye everywhere like that, that's crazy. Okay, so I pulled off the covers on the Bosch unit. We got the old unit in the back of the pickup. And I disconnected our brackets for our coil. And disconnected our fan. Let's see. We have to disconnect the thermistor right here. And with that, there's a little clip. Yeah, and you can't lose this clip because it's what holds that thermistor in place. So Peter, oops, got a plug on me. Yeah. Peter's gonna take the blower out and bring that up because that's really like the heaviest part. And I'm gonna flip this coil. Let's see, can I do it with one hand? No, I'm gonna need both hands, but just pull it out, flip it over, drop it in. It's super simple. And now I got my thermistor back in place with the clip. I zip tied the wire onto the pipe right there. Zip tied it right here. You do have to drill a hole through the condensate pan in order to get it through. And then I could put on our cover panels. Okay, so the unit is in place on the high-rise pad. Now we just gotta hook up the ductwork, line set, and condensate. Okay, so I got the return box screwed on, 4 screws, 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom. And we'll have to fill that gap in the back there. But now we could do the supply, which we do a transition made for. Okay, so our air handler is in place now. I am going to start working on everything outside while the electrician brings us 240 up here. And now we're working outside. We shut off power to the condenser so we can remove our disconnect, replace the disconnect. I disconnected the lines there. You can see all that dye comes out with the oil. We're gonna leave the existing pads, but we're gonna put a high-rise pad on top of it for the Bosch. And get this big ream out of here. Okay, so the unit's in place on the high-rise pad. I screwed the pad into the other pad. There are 2 wires here because there's a generator for the load shed or whatever. But should be pretty straightforward from here. New disconnect, new wet. Peter's working on. Peter! Oh, you got, okay. I was gonna give him wire cutters, but nice. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my suction line, get that brazed. I'm flowing nitrogen. It's a little bit hard to get it on camera. Let's see if I flip it and zoom. That's not bad. I got my Gentech mini brazing rig, mini torch, and Schraders are pulled. Okay, so there is one. Here is the other. We'll let those cool off. Then I'll switch over to my liquid line, and I'll keep the nitrogen flowing through the liquid line while I go up in the attic and get all that line set situated. I did just slip the 3/4 into the 7/8 here since we're utilizing existing line set. Some people complain about this. I don't see any issue with it. It's just like you're using like a slip coupling or something like that, but whatever. Okay, so I just turned on our vacuum pump with our True Blue hoses and the Blue Vac Plus Pro Micron gauge. Gas ballast is open. Just gonna open up the app for Blue Vac on the iPad. Without giving the customers information. I just got this iPad, so I'm gonna have to reconnect. So the gas ballast is closed if it's open. And wow, we already pulled down really, really low. It's not entirely there yet though, because if I close this, it'll jump up because this is reading so close to the vacuum. But we're below 1500, so I'm gonna close off that gas ballast now and let this pump down. We'll see how low we get. I did a pressure test at 450 psi with the nitrogen and the S-bands. We held without any problem. So our line set's good. I flushed the line set really well just to try to push out the dye and the oil. Not that it matters because it's all compatible with this, but just I don't know. But yeah, we're pulling down to a nice vacuum. I'll let it go for a while, then we'll do a decay test, and I'll show you what we got done inside. Okay, so Peter did the condensate. Emergency goes out, as well as primary goes out. We have this float switch here, which you do have to pull to test to initiate it. Otherwise it's sealed there and water won't push it up. So you leave it like that. And that will kill so it'll shut down everything. The unfortunate thing here is we're not able to run a new thermostat wire easily. The electrician is going to take a look and see if he can do it more easily. And if so, then we'll run new thermostat wire. Because we only have 3, R, Y, and G. But it would be nice to bring common. It would be nice to bring Y2 down. And it would be nice to bring OB for the future if they wanted to hook it up for heat pump. But for now, this is what it is. We got R, G, and Y. And to give it the full 3 tons, you have to jump out Y1 and Y2 together. So purple and yellow are together right there, because purple is Y2. But new emergency drain pan. It's on rubber feet to stop vibration. Kept the filter box for access into the coil. Here is our transition that I had made by All Island Sheet Metal, which fit absolutely perfectly, like it literally always does. It's literally, there's like a quarter, half an inch gap right here till it hits the pan. So they got that all perfect. But all the ductwork's existing. We're not changing that. That's like the plenum right there, but whatever. As long as we have good static pressures, which we should, because we had no issue on static with the 3.5 ton unit. What else? Line set right there. A little bit annoying. And then we're waiting on power. The electrician ran a new power wire from outside. That's it right there. So he's gonna strap it all up and bring it down and in. But aside from that, we're done inside. Okay, so it's giving an alert to isolate the system because we're at very low microns. So I'm gonna isolate it. I'm gonna hit continue and decay test. So however much it rises over a certain course of time will say whether or not we pass. If so, finish and save and let the charge flow into the lines. There we go, we passed, so I'll finish and save that. Dismiss. And I'll let it go for a little bit longer. Just because I gotta get some tools here to open the lines and everything. Okay, so I can close off our ports, I can shut off our vacuum, take off our high side connection, and open up our line. And then we do want to disconnect this so that we don't damage the sensor. So we want to disconnect that as quickly as possible. Peter will put that away. And I'll open these up, disconnect my hoses, and get the Schraders put back in. Okay, so I got my Schrader on my core removal tool. Open up the line. These ones have gotten really stiff. I don't know why. And then just tighten that Schrader core in there. It's hard to do one-handed. And then open this, make sure you don't have any refrigerant spraying out, and then you can take off the tool. And then I could do the same on the other side. Okay, so I connected Y in common. The generator load shed switch just goes in between. It breaks the connection. Peter's gonna wire in power, and then we can wait on the electrician to wire power upstairs so that we can charge the system. Probably gonna have to add about 1.5 pounds for the line set run, about 20 or so feet up, maybe about 20 feet across into the attic. So I'm gonna start cleaning up. And while there's downtime, I can go into the invoice, go into invoice message, which is right here, add a message, and just type out supply or performed proposed work and fill out everything that we did, and then that'll be attached to the invoice that gets sent to the customer. Okay, so still waiting on the electrician, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw a pound in while we wait. If it takes it. I cleared, purged the hoses already. Got 2 ounces, so it's coming in, it's going in. Six ounces, stop this at a pound, and once we could get it running, we'll charge by subcooling. Got the unit on inside. The unit just kicked on outside. So we gotta wait 10 minutes before we can put it into forced operation, and then we can charge it by subcooling. Peter's wrapping up the line, zip tying the wires together. This unit's been running all day because it's pulling in attic air right now, but it's still keeping the second floor at 70 degrees without any problem. So there we go. Valve just opened for the compressor. That's gonna change to read, I'll click it in force, but it's not gonna happen yet. But that's gonna start to read the frequency that the compressor's running at. Inverter, not compressor. Okay, so we started off at 0 and we're climbing up now on our frequency. That little T, sideways T, means forced operation, but it's going to take time before it actually kicks on in forced operation, since this is the first time power is being applied to it. But once it gets up into 72 hertz, we can charge the system according to subcooling. But one thing that I wanted to show is in-house Call Pro. I have this right here, property profile. So let me move over to where it's a little quieter. But I can add the system now. So I'm going to put in air handler, display name, Bosch, BVA, first floor, make is Bosch, model is BVA 36WN1-M20. BVA 36-W, I forgot already. BVA 36WN1-20. WN, stupid emojis, 1-M20. Sorry, I'm trying to record while also type it in, and I gotta move that. 36, BVA-36. Serial number, that's a long one. I'll put that in off camera. So I put all that info in that equipment, put the install date, and press save. And because I have poor service, it's gonna take a little bit longer, but here we go. So now we have the air handler for the first floor. Good thing I got this case yesterday. But it's nice to have all that accessible. So click on it and it shows different things, and I can actually add a picture of it if I want to. And that's nice to see all the customer's equipment there. But yeah, you can also put in how they found you, the lead source. We've been using this customer for a very long time, or this customer's been using us for a very long time. So I'm gonna click existing client, and that's it. I can exit out of that and move back to our system. We're at 39. Is 40 the maximum? I think 72 is the maximum. But we gotta wait for it to get to full frequency and then we can charge it. We just had to shorten the drain a bit because it was pushing over the gutter. We needed to go in the gutter. But system's all buttoned up. Got a little bit of a smudge on my camera. It's all put together and we're wrapping it up. And then we got this system. We also have to slip this back over on that before we leave. And then this, it drops in and it just rests. Okay, back outside, discharging warm. 9.5 degrees of subcooling. We're looking for 8 to 10, plus or minus 2. So I'm happy with that. I'll disconnect my hoses and button the system back up. Take it out of force mode now. And we're good to go. And I always open up the refrigerant port and the high side port and let the system suck out the rest of the liquid refrigerant from the hoses. That way we're not wasting or losing any, or not wasting or losing as much. And I put some info off camera. I just headed for the first floor air handler. I just put in pictures of it because it's nice to have those. And for the condenser, I put that in as well. Item type condenser, even though it's an inverter, it's close enough. Got our picture of our outdoor unit there as well. It's being slow because I have such poor service out here. But it's in there, and what's nice is if the iPad goes out, unlike ServicePal, I have it right on my phone. I don't want to show the customer's information, but I'll click on it and all right there on my phone. So it's nice. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add attachments to this job. Select from library, add that picture that I had. I put it in as small because it's quicker to upload a small picture. And I'll take a photo, the unit right there, small, add photo, get a close-up on the model and serial number. That way if you need to register it later, it's all right there. And we got our Pipe Doctor sticker on it. And then when it comes for time for payment, that's super easy. This customer is a little different because they're financing, but you click on pay, and if you had good service or you're on Wi-Fi, you would go hit next. Credit card, cash, check, or other. They're paying other, so I'll click other, and they'll sign, and it'll automatically send them the invoice. So I use this every single day. It's super useful. I am sponsored, not really sponsored, but like I'm an affiliate with them. So I do have a link to a free trial with 50% discount on the first 2 months. So if you use it, or if you want to use it, and you go through my link, which will be in the description, then I do get a little bit of like a commission off of that. So it's nice. Happy to do it with them because I really do like using Housecall Pro, because we used to use ServicePal, but Housecall Pro has a lot more information and a lot more stuff that you could do with it. So it was cool that they reached out and wanted to see if I was interested in being an affiliate with them. So hopefully I could show you a little bit more with other jobs on how I use it, like adding line items and adding pricing if it's not there already. But this is kind of just the first video that I'm really going to show, or start to show how I use it, well, how it makes everything easier. Because all this stuff that I put in now is accessible from anybody in the company. Mike can see it, the other Mike can see it, Peter can see it, the office can see it. So if we go to a job, we can pull up customer history. I'll show you that. I don't want to give away their address, but it says customer history right there, so I'll click. They have 9 events. And without showing all of the pricing, the events are here. Take measurements for ductwork. First floor AC frozen. Estimate. Main floor AC not cooling. AC tune-up. $225 hourly rate for service. So it keeps a history with dates, the issues, photos, everything. So we can really be on top of customers' equipment and give them recommendations based off of, like, maybe things are happening repeatedly, and maybe one day Mike was there and the next day I was there, and one of us wouldn't have realized that this issue already happened before. We really need to figure out a problem. We can see in the history, oh, this happened a month ago, something's going on, and we can give recommendations to the customer on what they should do for to fix the issue. But I'm going to wrap it up with the customer, make sure we're all cleaned up inside, and that's it. Okay, so finished up with that. Now, I think I'm gonna head to a customer who lives by me that approved an estimate
turn right
to install a Bosch
Avenue.
system, but she
Then
has
turn
some
left onto
questions
Brook Place.
and she doesn't want to talk over the phone about it. So I'm gonna stop by there. But customer's very happy. Got the equipment swapped out quickly. She doesn't have to worry about it anymore. They've been a super long time customer. And it's a Bosch, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like the video if you liked it. Comment any advice or criticisms or feedback. It is only 2:25 p.m. 2:25. I didn't really show that well on my watch. I'll show it on my phone because it's easier that way. 2:25.
At the stop sign, turn right onto
So
Camp Avenue.
I got there at about 7:45. Peter got there, I don't know, like 8:30. So we got done.
At the next
We got done
light,
really
turn
quickly
left.
for just Peter and I. Usually it takes us longer, just the two of us, but this one was very easy. What else? And yeah, I mean, usually the electrician beats us, but we beat him. So, yeah, like the video if you liked it, comment any advice or criticisms or feedback, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.